Are some brokerages better than others for buying Treasury bills and Treasury bonds? I compare Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Interactive Brokers to see where you can get better prices when buying and selling Treasuries. The price differences are not that big for T-bills unless, of course, you're buying very large amounts. They may make a big difference if you're buying some corporate bonds that are not as liquid as Treasury bonds. But either way, it's good to know which brokers give the choice to try to buy and sell bonds at better prices than their listed bid and offer prices. So let's take a look as I try to buy the same T-bill across 4 different brokerages. So let's see if I could buy Treasury bills somewhere in the middle between the bid and the ask. Go to News and Research, click Fixed Income Bonds and CDs. All right, so let's go look at U.S. Treasury bills 3 months. So this T-bill matures on April 3rd, 2025 and has a yield to maturity of 4.307. Let's click on buy. Okay, so let's look at this order book. Now notice that there's a quantity and a minimum. So this minimum is 300 bonds or $300,000 worth, and there are 50,000 of them available for sale, but you have to buy a minimum 300 each. So you're not going to get this price unless you're willing to buy 300 bonds. Now there's another one at the same price and the minimum is only 250 bonds, and there's 10,000 of them offered for sale there. And then at a worse price, higher price, you can buy just a minimum of 50 bonds, and there's 41,000 of them offered there. So what if you don't want to buy 50 bonds? You have to buy the next one down. Let's take a look at the whole depth of book, and I don't see any that are less than 50. So that's not that good if you're looking to buy less than 50, but I'm going to buy more than 50. So let's go back over here. If I'm going to buy 50, I would have to buy at this price, right? So I want to buy 63 bonds. I put a limit price and it automatic, when you click on this, it fills in this offer price here, right? But the bid price is 4.324% yield and a price of 98.945, right? The ask yield that I would be getting if I'm willing to buy on the offer is only 4.291. So can I get a little bit closer to the bid price, buying on the bid like the dealers do? Let's see. So the difference between this price and this price, right, 0.945 and 0.953. So that's a difference of 8 thousandths, right? So if I split it in half and go 98.949, let's see if that will fill, right? So I put the difference between 98.945 and 98.953. So somewhere in the middle, if somebody is really itching to make this trade, they might take my order. So let's see what happens, right? And so if I do get this trade, it will be an effective yield of 4.307, not the 291 or something. Okay, so let's see. Order received. Let's see order status. All right, status is open still. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. Normally, I would think that if there is somebody that's willing to trade in the middle, they would do it immediately. You see that like on stocks and options and stuff like that. So I'll give it a little time. I still have about a little more than an hour before the market closes. But if this doesn't fill towards the end of the day, I'll just go around and change my order to the ask and just buy it on the offer. So a little while later, I actually got filled at my price. So in the middle, not at the offer. So even better. And so on Interactive Brokers, I was also trying to buy the same T-bill, but I was trying to buy it on the bid, and I had my order there for about half an hour and it didn't go. And so now I modified it and put it at the midpoint price. And so to modify it, you just right click, modify, order ticket. And you see if you click here, it will tell you that the ask is 98.94813. The bid is 94.563. And the mid price is this. So if this doesn't go in a few minutes, I'm going to move my bid up a little bit and see if that goes. Okay, this thing still hasn't filled. So let me modify it again. So I'm going to move up to, say, 98.947. Let's see. Okay, so let's see with Vanguard, the same T-bill, April 3rd, 2025. Click on buy, right? Buy. Let's say I put 50 bonds, so $50,000, and the price is 98.951, which Interactive Brokers has 98.94850, a better price, a better yield, right? So if you continue, you see that you could only change the amount of bonds you want to buy. You can't change the price that you're willing to buy these at. So here the price is 949, so maybe because I'm at 50, there's a better price level for that. So that's very close to what Interactive Brokers has, right? 949, same, almost the same. So not bad, but still, there's no way for you to try to buy it on the bid or try to buy it in the middle or anything like that. You're either buying it on the offer or you're not buying it at all. So let's see what Schwab has now. Okay, so let's look at Schwab here, U.S. Treasuries, 3-month. Right, and here is the April 3rd T-bill. So at the minimum one bond price, it's 98.94875. I think that's the same as Interactive Brokers. So let's click on buy, $50,000. Right, so look at this. You can have a limit order of this price, which you can't change, right? I'm clicking in here, you can't change it. Or you can do a market order, which could be any price, but I mean, with the bonds, you're going to get this price most likely, but I would never do a market order, do a limit order. But again, you cannot change it. So this is the price you're going to get, 98.949, a yield to maturity of 4.309. So let's go back to Interactive Brokers and see how my order is working over there. So here we are, 98.949 is the same offer here, and I got my bid in at 98.947, and it still hasn't gone. So let's change that up. Okay, I'm going to change it up to 98.948. Let's see if that goes. Let's see, transmit. Okay, it still hasn't gotten filled. It's still working, and there's about 15 minutes left for the market to close. So let's see what happens. And by the way, if you see, the last trade traded at 98.94813. So I'm a little lower than that. But notice this, that the bid they show here is 98.94688. And even though I'm bidding higher, they're not representing my order here like they have to do in the stock market with the Manning rule. So it used to be in the stock market like this, that a dealer could be bid here and another dealer could be offered here. And you put in a bid that's better than this dealer, and it won't display to all the other dealers. It won't be top of the market here. It will just be sitting on whoever the dealer you have on their books. So the bond market is still kind of in the old days that they don't display all the customers' orders. All right, let's see if I modify up to this price that was traded at last. Maybe I'll get filled. 1.3, transmit. Now, I know you're thinking, what's the big deal? Why go out all these decimal places to save a tiny little bit? Well, the difference is if you bought it on the offer here, you're going to get a yield of 4.306%. But if you bought it on the bid, you're going to get 4.316. So that's 10 basis points, which is not huge unless you're dealing with really big numbers, which I'm not. It's not a small number, but it's not a big number either. So even if I were to buy it here on the offer, it's not that much money. But I'm just curious to see how much you could negotiate in your prices when buying T-bills. All right, I'm going to go up a little bit more just so I'm at least better than the last traded at bid. So let's go up to 15 and see what happens. So now my bid is better than this last traded at bid. So theoretically, if there's anybody selling this bond, they should be buying mine, unless there's higher bidders out there, obviously. But I mean, if this is the last price it traded at, I'm at least better than that. And now the bid just dropped a little bit, as did the offer. So, and this thing just traded This thing just traded below me, 98.947763, and I didn't get filled. Right? In the stock market world, this would be this would be a violation because this is the national best bid and offer in the stock market world. And so if your bid is better than the NBBO, then you should be getting filled before anybody gets filled below you. Okay, now again, it just traded again, 98.94807, which is lower than my bid. And I still didn't get filled. And now it traded again at 98.94813, which is still lower than my bid, and I still didn't get filled. That's crazy. Okay, there's only 3 minutes left for the market. I'm going to have to go around and modify it again. And let's see what happens. Maybe to 8.5. If this thing doesn't get filled here, right? 812 is the mid, so I'm going to go to 8.5. Let's see. It doesn't look like I'm going to get filled today. I think I'm gonna try this again in the morning and put a bid out there that's basically right on the bid, or maybe just a tiny bit over it earlier in the day, and let the order work for a while and see if I finally get hit closer to the bid. Okay, there's 1 minute left. By the way, I believe the bond market is open till 5 o'clock, so I really actually have an hour left. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it and see if I get filled. Okay, stock market's closed. So the bid dropped again, and this thing traded at 98.94763, and now it's offered at 98.94875, just a tiny bit away from where I'm bid. Right, this thing is bid at 98.94650. I'm at 94.850. And it's offered at 875. So they rather lower their offer all the way till where it's almost where my bid is, and I still haven't gotten hit. And they're trading way below me. This is what the NASDAQ stock market used to be like when they didn't have to represent your order. Okay, so it's the next day, Friday. I'm going to try to buy this again somewhere in the middle, hopefully. So I'm going to try to buy it here in the middle. Let's see what happens. Oh, and I got filled right away. Okay, so I got filled right away, right in the middle. So Fidelity and Interactive Brokers do let you try to get better prices, while you can only trade at the listed prices for Charles Schwab and Vanguard. But Interactive Brokers charges 0.2 basis points or $2 per $100,000, but with a $5 minimum. While buying and selling treasuries on Fidelity is free if you do it online, and $19.95 if you call them to place your trade. So really that $3 I saved by trying to get a better price on Interactive Brokers was eaten up by the $5 commission that they charged me. Like I said, you have to buy a lot of bonds for it to make a big difference, but of course every little bit helps. Interactive Brokers is definitely more difficult to use with a steeper learning curve than Fidelity. So if you are just rolling some treasuries every few months when they expire, Fidelity would be a good choice for the average investor that just wants some ease of use. If you want a more professional platform, Interactive Brokers would be the way to go. I hope you like this one, and let me know in the comments which is your favorite broker to buy Treasury bills or Treasury bonds and why. Thanks for watching, guys.